What's up? What's up, YouTube? Trying to do this live from the park. It's my 107th day going live. We had a game, got a Little League game. Little League game going on. Playing under playing on the scoreboard, which is cool. I didn't know I could zoom in there. Play ball. Hey, Dawn. Yeah, I didn't even know I could zoom in. Things you learn when you try it. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated. It's hard watching. It's hard watching Little League sometimes. It shows you the foundation. Don, how's your day going, by the way? Been a few days. I've still committed to streaming every day. Obviously, just not doing the open studio, which I did just I had a nice conversation with my sister about, and some thoughts as to what I'm doing with it and where to go with it. But I'm at this beautiful field. I don't think I've ever played. Well, I have played on a nice field, but at this age, man, this is a beautiful, beautiful field. Yeah, just having a chat. Hey, what's up, kid? Liam the GOAT. Cover the camera for Lamar Jackson. I don't even know what that means, Liam. Sorry, I'm not into too much pop culture references. Been at a doctor's appointment. Okay. I hope all is well. Can any of them hit over the fence? This is the 9-10-year-old division. I feel like if at this age I could probably reach the fence. We had high fences where I played at though. Yeah, I definitely could get it out over here. They don't make a lot of contact, man. Their mechanics are just off. A lot of the kids that are good, they're good, and there's a huge gap. That's what I'm always talking about with like coaching. They take for granted like simple terminology, simple. I think I had mentioned to if you were on the stream the other like some time ago, Don. Hey, what's up, unknown? How you doing? You're not unknown to me, Taco. Tacos sound good on Tuesday, huh? I think I'm gonna have a taco tonight. But yeah, just my son's been playing baseball for a few years now, and I was not able to watch him. I think it's the first game I didn't see last week. I had a different game. My other son had a game at the same time, and I rushed over here afterwards. So I got to see one of his at bats, and I said, "Well, how many?" I saw how the at bat went. He's not the biggest of kids, so he kind of understands how to work himself into a hitter's count, and I want to have that conversation with him. I actually was just having that conversation, what a hitter's count is, what that means, how you're going to get the pitch that you want to hit. And I say, how many at-bats did you have today? He goes, what's an at-bat? And it's not even a waste of money, it's a waste of time. If kids who've been doing something for a few years in Roblox, YouTuber. I never sang until I had a strike against me. Oh, you mean swing? You never swing. Yeah, I was telling him how to work himself into a hitter's count because he actually is doing that. He almost goes full every time, right? And at least he's not, he's going down swinging for the most part. Look, this is him. I'll give you a shot. So he's in left field. Yeah, dog. I got to get back to my auto corrections on my side. But yeah, I mean, I was a cleanup hitter for the most part, and when I moved up to play on a bigger team, I batted either first or second, right in front. So I only know what it's like to just understand what am I getting out of the at bat, and like how and even at his age, like at 9 years old, I knew what I was doing when I went up there. I knew based on who was on base or what we were trying to do. Hi, Robin Rhodes, how you doing? What we were trying to accomplish as a team. And then here's the other thing. Then he's little, so he kind of gets those walks. He's happy to get a walk, and then when he gets on the base, the coaches don't have any command. So all he hears is the crowd. Hold on. See, if you could just hear that, get the ball. That is not, he is not reacting. Oh my God, I absolutely hate this. I'm gonna fold the coach up one day. So they actually have coaches on first and third. The problem with coaching baseball, I yo, yo, you're not reacting to the ball. Every time that ball is hit in this direction, react to it, okay? Move over to the right. Move over. React to it. Thank you. React to it. Thank you. Go to second. Cut two. Cut two. Very good. I, it's killing me now. This is killing me. I say cut two, like it's in me, and this is not a language that there's not vocabulary for them. I say cut two. He looks at me like. So the kids who play, well, no, cut two is you're hitting the cutoff going towards two, the second base. So when you're running for the ball, your coach should be screaming because you don't exactly know where the runner has gone, and based on where it drops, you should already know from the coach's perspective on where that ball is going to, and that's the kind of the coach's call, or it's the cutoff guy's call. And the cutoff people, the cutoff people are moving based on the what just happened. Did something happen and we need to go from 2 to 3? But they don't have any of that vocabulary. So, you can't just scream. What react? Well, react with what? And I feel like I'm failing him because I'm not out there coaching. Like right now, they did this weird thing, and my friend told me in his league it's the same thing. They have 10 fielders right now. It's 10 fielders right now. They're not being positioned, and these guys are hitting. Oh my God. It's gonna be a long game. Yeah, I mean, I could play I'm an old guy, but that's what the game is. And the kids who are going to play at another level, or they right now, because what they've done is they've made this whole travel thing bigger. Just like basketball, they've made AAU so big that you feel the need to play that. You're no longer worried about playing on your high school team. These guys are trying to do a rundown. There's no backup. Coach doesn't say anything. It's just everything is about the ball. Man, I played the game since I was 6, and I was, kudos to the people that raised and trained me. They we had a winter clinic, and instead of playing fall ball, there was no fall ball league. It wasn't one. I'm gonna explain that. It wasn't a coach. What it was my league was very big on the developmental part of baseball, breaking down the things in chunks. Like, we were taught baseball like it was America's pastime. It was like a game, that everybody played, and it was passed down, and so you weren't the first person to go through this rites of passage, right? And if you turn on the TV, for the most part, this is prior to when people were just swinging for the fences. There was a lot of small ball and a lot of understanding of what the game was, good and bad. But we had a winter clinic, right, for weekend tournaments. Yeah, when you were 13. Well, I mean, there's a whole sanction system on how, where you're supposed to be able to play based on where you live, your region, and whether or not you could participate in tournament ball. I think that's always been there. Hey, Sally Sue. But for me, we had a winter clinic, right? So every Saturday I would show up to a gym, and in the gym you can't necessarily play baseball. So you would break down all of, where you from, Sally? You would break down all these mechanics of sliding and catching and hitting, and you would get your opportunity. You didn't need to pay for a batting cage. You would basically, like, I just watched the kid on the other team, and this is how I know I'm not crazy. I watched the other coaches. The kid just ran through first base. They don't teach that on the teams that I've been on. They don't teach that. Yeah, yeah. I'm in a similar situation, but the town does have enough to have a league, and then we may play one or two teams. This is more considered, I guess, like rec baseball. But growing up, that's what I played, and we were pretty serious. In fact, my league ended up going to the World Series. One of the guys, when I was young, he was a coach at the time. He ended up coaching the team. I come from the league that I don't know if you know the funny American story of Danny Amante. It was Harlem Little League. That's my little league. That's the league that I coached in. Flies and Skittles. Yeah, I mean, we definitely played, but there are two instructive points away from learning these games more seriously and getting the most out of them. See the thing is, what people don't have more enough respect for is that winning solves a lot. When you win, you're not allowed to be sad. Like, look at this. Watch. I'm gonna show you something. Uh, there was the guy's just at bat, and the left fielder, the kid who just came last, he was facing me, and I'm I'm on the other side of the fence. You learn to pitch and hit. My mom taught me how to hit, and I was well before I started. That's when you take the big wiffle ball bat out there. Bro, back up. Your face is so close. That's your opinion, sir. I don't know. I don't know what to do. All I could do is maybe zoom out a little bit. But phone's in my hand. I don't have no selfie stick. Glad to have you in the chat. If you got jokes, keep the jokes coming. Maybe I'll crack a smile for you. Mumtaz Khan. But yeah, man, I think that I see this a lot where the kids are just misguided, and it takes one. You had to pitch it up and hit another person. Yeah, one of the persons, absolutely. Absolutely. And then when you want to learn how to field, man, you go find a wall. That's what we used to do with the handball courts, and you throw and catch, throw and catch. All of these simple things, they but it's language matters, vocabulary matters. Some kids just get it, and we live through the kids that are like we live through the kids that get it. The names that we call like the best chant I ever heard. I think I've mentioned it before. So many spiders over here. The best chant. It was a kid. His name was Abel. A Bell. That was his name. What's up? What do you need advice on? I don't know if I got it for you. I could talk through it, but I could try to offer my take. I don't know if I have advice. But his name was Abel, and when it was time for him to come to bat, you would hear rumbles from the dugout, from the crowd. They would say, "Ring, ring a bell, ring, ring a bell." Like, could you imagine the level of confidence that that kid had at 11 years old, 13 years old? Everyone in the stand, people walking past, because I was in a city. We played at some parks where you get the passerbyers, and people would just hear ring, ring a bell. I wish my name was a bell, not Daryl. I wish my name was a bell. You get a chant like that. I get one of those generic chants and claps and hollers. He actually had a chant. And what people don't understand is when a kid gets a hit, it changes their life. And when you set young people up to you set them up to accomplish something that you showed them, and you meet them where they're at. Like, I'll give you an example. When it's mid inning and they're warming up, so like I don't want to show other people's kids, but see these kids, they're warming up in the outfield, right? Anything you guys stress so much about which isn't worth worrying at all, as per your experience. I don't know if that has to do with advice. When you say anything young guys stress so much about, what is young though? Can you are you placing me? Do I get to be young today with the salt in my beard? So what I was saying, clean up your question, man. Give me a good question, and I like where you're going with that. You can't hit a slow pitch baseball. Oh, it's funny. That's funny. Okay, you're a teenager, so live your life, man. Why you worry? Do what you want to do. Don't wait for nothing. The only thing I would take back, one of the main things I say I would take back from being a young person is myself waiting to live my dreams and waiting for some structure in society, like graduating high school. If I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I should have just did it when I was 16 and just took it seriously. School is just a part of the puzzle, you know. But live your life. I got some young viewers. People come in the chat, Mumtaz, and we chop it up, talk, give some inspiration, try to keep it positive. Hang out if you want to. But from my observation, there's a lot of kids that I've seen. When I say kids, I could wrap this into you, Mumtaz. I've worked in junior high schools, I've worked at after school programs, so pretty much have a range of young people that I've worked with. And it's the same story. We're all meeting each other at a different level of confidence. And there are strategic skills that are going to make or break your success, right? Enjoy the game. Thanks, Don. There are certain skills that are going to make or break your success. So in my story, my baseline level of success is based on Me being able to socially understand my environment. There's too many people to think that being super competitive academically, so if I wasn't the top student, I just fall into the general population, right? So how do you navigate? Well, when I'm in different environments, if I'm in a corporate office, can I speak to them? If I go back to the neighborhood, can I speak to them? So my ability to be successful in life has all been surrounding me being able to socialize and be comfortable in different environments. So once you understand, what's going to get you to the next level, and you just kind of sit on it. And it ain't, when I say success, I mean just giving you more freedom to enjoy yourself in life. There's still things and heights and dreams that I haven't achieved and I have to get to. But what sucks is watching young people miss their opportunities. That's what sucks. And it stems from something as simple as a baseball game, right? Being confident that you were able to get better at something and grow with something. It could be a math test, right? It could be something, and it struggles academically, especially with like boys, because, and I'll speak to here in America. Jax, what's up, man? With boys, they may not value those academic achievements, right? Because the other boys aren't going to be, you're at 16, Mumtaz. Um, I don't know what WPS is. Let me see. Let me think about what that might be. I don't know, Jax. So what I was saying is, boys don't bully each other because they're not good academically, right? It's athletically, you're the best at something. You're stronger, you're faster, you're quicker, you're slow, you're weak. There's a lot of physical in there. You have a lisp, you stutter. Um, my little man is up. Let's see if he's ready to get a hit. No one's gotten a hit yet, so stay in the box. First rule number one: every time an umpire sees you step outside the box, you are not prepared to hit, and they are not obligated to call a ball a ball. They will call it a strike. Slow swing, good swing. He's not ready. He's not ready to hit. He's getting no engagement from his coaches, players. There's no build up. Good way to hold back. So he's worked himself into a pitcher's count. The count is 1-2. He doesn't look loose. We'll see how this goes, but you never know, right? That one pop of the bat could change everything. That wasn't a strike, but he called a strike because he was looking. It was way outside, and he called the strike because he was looking. And and actually that's a really good ump. These are great lessons for young people, but I'm gonna sit here and write these down, right? So I'm gonna say, and these are the easy things. Just take care of the easy things. The easy things are, you're here to play baseball, and a part of playing baseball is keeping your feet in the box when the ball's being pitched. CJ, what's up, man? Let me show you the site, CJ. CJ thinks I'm a park bum. He said, stop wearing a different hat. Yeah, I'm in my son's game, man. I just watched him strike out. Every time he strikes out, I feel like my batting average is going down every time. They're not winning, but they don't deserve to win. They suck. Their coaches suck. They don't understand the game. See, I'm not that type, CJ. If you don't deserve something, you don't deserve it. When I got to college, I remember this one practice when a really close friend of mine, teammate, JC, I'll just call him JC, he took a 3-pointer in practice and he won like this game. And coach wasn't happy. It was in practice, it wasn't. Coach said in front of the whole team, we not, well, look, I'm on the Spider Gang here. I might turn into Spider-Man, y'all. So coach said, hey, let's just use me. CJJC, right? No pun. Actually, he lives in Texas, CJ. He lives in Texas currently, too. His name is Johnny. So coach said to JC, he goes, I'd rather watch this other guy make a 3-pointer and miss than watch you take a 3-pointer and make it. That's rude, right? It's rude. Don't you guys think so? If somebody told you that, CJ, how are you responding to it? I'm coaching you and I say, I rather, he's a big guy, man. He's like 6'3", probably 260, solid muscle with a thick neck. Pause. So he rather that guy, JC, he rather him. Why would you say that to me? Yeah, because when you get on a more serious level, my job as the coach is not, I'm not playing the luck game. He got a thick neck, yo. If you saw him, you would understand. My job as a coach is to organize. Even at this Little League level, I'm organizing a lineup. When I was coaching Little League years ago, and I say years, I mean like, it's probably been like 14 years ago now, right? Has it been that long? Yeah, it's probably been like 14 years ago. When you organize a lineup, you're organizing based on the competitiveness. How can you get a nice rally going? So a couple of batters in a row that, who's going to be able to get on base. Maybe the bottom of your lineup, like the 8th, 9, they are potentially somewhat like cleanup, like top of the lineup guys, but you want them to rally around. Where can you hide the weak? That's always a part of it. How do you hide the weakest link? So your job is to navigate around these things. You're not playing the luck game. It's a strategy. And in my strategy, we should be practicing my strategy. While we're on my time, you run the system and the plays the way that we designed it. And you just so happen to not be the scorer, the shooter. This man Darnell talking about thick necks. Changed my channel name to Darnell Just Talking Thick Necks. Yeah, I got away with words, brother. I ain't worried about it. Somebody told me to back up off the camera though. That was hilarious. But yeah, I'm just out here watching this Little League game, and it just hurts my heart to watch my son and other kids, just struggling with understanding what the game is and the instruction, so to speak. Like, they don't understand the terms of baseball, and they're not being taught. And I don't think my life is changing to where I'm going to be watching more baseball. I'm done with that. What's going on with you, CJ? What was your day like, man? It's been 90 degrees here. So all I gotta do with my son, all I gotta do is get him to hit, and everything else opens up. Man, this is bad, bro. I might have to go on and do first base coach. I'm starting to get pissed off, man. See, the problem is that one, being a parent, um, I don't see baseball as just a game to have fun. No, it's not fighting coaches, bro. It's you gotta lead by example. Every time I come out my shell and I go coach, this happened when we were doing basketball, and I sit on the side looking like a hobo the whole season. You know, I might be shadow boxing in the hallway, but then when I have my opportunity to coach the kids, the kid just came out and said, and he was like, "Coach, he knows a lot more than what you've been teaching us." And I'm like, "Man, like that's your coach. I ain't got time for that every day, and I don't like being a complaining guy on the side. But this is a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time. So I got to figure out how to work through that, and I feel like the answer is just to make a clinic of my own. You know, I wish I had a team of people, some guys, some friends, or some people who cared about the game as much as I did and want to see these kids learn how to play the game the right way. You know, it's not so much about um, everybody being sick. I ain't gonna say everybody has their own um, definition of success, right? Was I as successful at playing baseball? Bro, I didn't have no guidance, man. I didn't have no guidance. My mom didn't know enough. She wasn't enough. And some of the decisions that were made by the time I was on my own, I didn't have nobody that could tell me what was what. Whereas some of my teammates from when I was still playing like junior and senior league, thanks for the the celebratory stuff. So when I got like 14, 15, 16, some of my teammates, they end up playing at some of the biggest high schools. And I'm like hitting in front of or behind these guys. But they know enough. They know enough to, get in that position. And I just was like, I was fine doing what I was doing. I didn't know any better. But at the same time, a lot of this is about building relationships over time and it taking you to the next level of your life and being a good citizen. So that all worked out for me. Great experiences. I was more successful in basketball because I was able to get more back from it. But I can't say I like basketball better than I like baseball. But that's all, guys. It was just committing to this going live. It's been 107 straight days. I popped out earlier. CJ, I popped out, man. I'm going to get a tan after this because I'm facing the sun. I joined a podcast that was one of these like call-in podcasts, and I called in. And it's a roasting podcast. I think the thing is called Roast with the Host. One of my favorite creator, Craig Smith. And, I didn't think much of it. I was like, I ain't doing nothing right now. So I just pressed the button and I went on. It was fun. I didn't get to really joke as much. I was my old dry self, just giving some of who I was and what I did. But really, why I called was because they had stopped this Discord, and I wanted to like explore. I really wanted to connect with those guys to explore what, as a software engineer, like what could be done, what kind of platforms could be built based on all this talent that we have out here. And now that I'm creating content on a more consistent basis, um, I see where that I wasn't really wrong. That we being a team that gets put together could match and produce content based on your story, and everybody's story is not being told. One of my big questions, I wish that I asked the two hosts, Todd and Craig, was one of the questions I would have asked is what is stopping content houses from popping up all over, like in the East Coast. I don't see any content houses that are doing what like things like the No Jumper podcast is doing. And they're not trying to be um, nationwide, so to speak. They get the guests that they get, and people are willing to travel to them. But here I am in New York, and I just don't know something that reflects that. I know people that have channels. Um, I could find a channel from every state, every coast, every popular city, but I don't know anyone who's throwing a podcast. Go to second base. I don't know anyone who has or any group that has a content house where they're publishing, all these different shows and having guests and different hosts. And so it's just a big question mark for me as to why. And there's this huge opportunity, um, and it doesn't matter the topic, right? It doesn't matter the actual topic. What matters is that you start creating content as a group and you start getting into the algorithm with these ideas. You know, CJ, like if you're still hanging out, you're on the stream team, and as if people held up to their end of the bargain, like Shadow Black, we would be creating content and different content, different shows, different builds, and that's more in line with where that's what I want to do. This jump on the stream and just air out I mean, it's not dirty laundry. Laundry's a little clean, but I'm not for this as much. I got spiders jumping on me. Okay. What? All right. Well, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna sit here and ponder and watch the rest of this game. Thanks for checking out the stream. If you catch us on the replay, I think I rambled for about 40 minutes. I kind of feels good though. Whatever. All right. Peace.